Merry Christmas. What a Christmas it has been. Whew. We are going to do some apartment yoga today. They are repainting my apartment gym, I guess because it's the holidays. So it's very fumey down there. That's why I haven't really been able to do any of these for the last couple of days. I also had some work stuff come up. That was pretty crazy. And we'll get into that. But first, let's do a couple of cat-cows here. Warming up the lower back. What's up, guys? Ethan, Dudley, Florida Nightmare. I don't know how you guys always get in here so quickly. Going into donkey kicks. So yeah, the last week has been an absolute whirlwind. And I think the biggest misconception is that I just, booked this incredible thing and I deserve all the credit. The reality is it took 3 years of hard work and everybody that's been involved for the story to get to a place where Arnold Schwarzenegger actually looked at it, was inspired by it, and immediately acted upon it. And one of the biggest takeaways from the whole experience for me was to meet someone with that kind of power, that kind of reach, that kind of freedom that can do anything they want with their life. They've accomplished everything. They've met everyone. And what he chooses to do is inspire good in a time when the world is just so divided and dark and angry. Arnold wants to spread light, and he saw that opportunity in Frank. And that's why he acted on it. And I'm just so proud of Frank. I'm so grateful for all of you guys, for the bosses at Barstool, for my colleagues, everybody. It's a win for all of us. And we couldn't have done it if everybody wasn't involved. And I'm not just saying that to sound like I'm saying the right thing. It's the truth. And I'm just so full of gratitude. With that said, today, again, we're going to do some apartment yoga. Assuming the gym's open tomorrow, I have joined Arnold's pump club, and Frank has too. What that means is we're in his app, which is really more than an app. It's like a fitness community, thousands of people in there that are all supporting each other, leaving notes, reading Arnold's newsletters, getting all kinds of health and fitness advice, all different levels. And where that's perfect is coming into a plank. I'm going to really challenge myself and try to do stuff that I'm not comfortable with. And you guys have always seen me do my workouts where I just do whatever I want. So it's going to be interesting to see how can I handle trying to do new stuff, challenging stuff at the more difficult level. On the other side, what's going to be even more exciting is Frank, starting Tuesday when he gets back from Idaho, is going to begin integrating the gym in our walks. So when we go for a walk for a couple hours, we're going to stop by the gym for a good 20, 30 minutes in the middle of it. And Frank is also in Arnold's pump club as we come to our butt. So Frank is going to start lifting weights consistently, regularly. Something I've been trying to get him to do for years. And silly me, all I needed was to hire Arnold Schwarzenegger as his fitness instructor. And to be clear, Arnold did it pro bono. So now Frank's into it, and Frank realizes he can do it. And Frank promised Arnold he is going to inspire millions of people in 2026. So he's going to get outside of his comfort zone, which again speaks to Frank's growth, not just, in terms of his fitness, but also his mentality, his willingness to try new stuff, which all of us need to always get better at. And what we're going to do is, again, track it all in Arnold's Pump Club, which means Arnold himself will be tracking Frank because he actually cares. He was really into the entire story. He was really into Frank's perseverance. I think, as crazy as it sounds, the basis of both of these guys doing epic things in their lives has something very much in common, where Arnold had a tough upbringing And his whole, rise to taking over the world fundamentally started by going to the gym, just simply going to the gym every day. Now, of course, he's a total freak of nature. He's like a superhuman, and he ended up becoming a 7-time Mr. Olympia. But, he wasn't born with those muscles. He worked his ass off, and he took no days off, and that's how he became a champion. With Frank, it was the same thing with walking. It's just obviously completely different, places in the world, places in life, but their ways to success are the same. And I think it's so cool that I think Arnold could feel that connection. Frank could feel that connection. Let's go with our pretzel stretch, getting the lower back. And that's where, as much as I'm so proud, excited, happy of everything that's come out from that episode, I will say with a very high degree of confidence that it's just the beginning of the friendship, of the connection, of the collaboration. Arnold's team, everyone from Catch to Noah, were just so awesome. I've been, pretty much texting with Arnold's team nonstop since last Friday, even through yesterday, all different kinds of ideas. And what's so great is everything's rooted in trying to inspire people. So you can imagine how fired up that makes me, that makes Frank, that makes all of us. And I think there's going to be really big things to come. Coming back into downward facing dog. Start pedaling our feet. So what you'll see on these live streams in the morning will likely be probably more of my regular workouts. And then when I'm with Frank in the gym, that's when we're going to really lean into the pump club. And that's when we're going to really use that guidance for Frank to be able to track everything he does as he, builds up his back so big that he doesn't need to watch action films in the theater. He can just watch them on his back. That's the goal. That's what we're going to get to. So for anybody out there that's a little intimidated by the gym, maybe they feel like they've always wanted to go, but so it's just some sort of reason to hold you back. I think watching Frank now go through this next chapter, as we're going elbow to knee, same side 5, then opposite 5, it should hopefully inspire a lot of us to get outside our comfort zone. Doesn't necessarily mean going to the gym, but doing something that can bring out the best in you that you've been kind of avoiding for a while. Now, one hand down, one hand up. And when we go and do our workouts and we do the Pump Club program, which again, they're literally built a whole nother one specifically for Frank. So they are really supportive. It's going to be designed by Arnold Schwarzenegger himself, the GOAT, to get Frank started, not to go in and try to see how strong he is and be reckless or careless or rush it. No, we're going to really handle it the way the greatest bodybuilder of all time is guiding us. And that's what's really cool about his Pump Club is, it's his stuff. It's what Arnold is telling you will work. And if you're going to listen to anybody's gym advice, probably go with Arnold Schwarzenegger. That would be my personal recommendation. And now we're back into our plank. So really gear up, guys, because 2026 is going to be completely epic. And Frank is so fired up, and he's so grateful for this outpouring of support and the reaction, not just how cool the experience was, but the reaction. Now coming back onto my little Fugazi yoga mat, butterfly. I'll also say for all the gym rats out there, I got to actually meet Arnold and lift some weights amongst him Monday. And that was with no cameras or anything. And then we obviously filmed Tuesday. And you might remember in the beginning of the episode, Arnold says, don't don't talk while I'm talking, or never speak when I'm speaking. He's looking at me. And to be honest with you, I think I blacked out because he walked out, he meets Frank, they start talking, and we've done 79 episodes before Arnold. I've been at countless Barstool events where, it's very simple. Keep your mouth shut. You're not part of the show, buddy. And I don't even know what I said. I tried to say something to Frank. God knows what. And you could I just buckled. And then Arnold looked at me and said that. But my point was, we had spent the day before together. So, he was obviously busting my balls and having fun. And the day before when we lifted, let's get down on our back. The one thing I noticed is, he's 78 and he's in incredible shape. Looks fantastic. He really knows how to hold his grips and his flex points and all that stuff that we talk about all the time. And the other one is what he said to Frank when he first talked about training. We're going for 100 crunches here, which is you have to have fun. And that's something you guys probably noticed with me, is I really try to have fun every time I'm doing one of these exercises, regardless of what the day is or the style is. And what I saw with Arnold is he just relentlessly made fun of his best friend, buddy, Ralph, who's the epic big guy in Gladiator, Beer Fest, and a million other films if you look up his IMDb. And he's a big sweetheart and the nicest guy in the world. And he's German and Arnold's Austrian, and they were just... Ralph didn't really fight back, but Arnold was just relentlessly cracking jokes. And it showed they have a really good time when they're in there. And I think that's something I'm going to show Frank is you can go into the gym and have a fucking great time. You don't have to, it doesn't have to feel like you're going to do chores. One of the other things that Arnold's team has helped with is the plan is going to be very based in using machines that are normally accessible at the most affordable gyms. We're not talking about really fancy shit, just old school like lat pull down and stuff like that, which again should make the program accessible to everybody. And by using machines, by using tracks, especially when you're a beginner, it really helps safeguard you from injury, from poor form due to inexperience, pulling muscles, all that kind of stuff, because the track obviously forces the perfect form where you can't really screw up and hurt yourself. So that's another big one for beginners lifting weights, is making sure you really do it safely, under control. You probably noticed Arnold had Frank do every exercise, I think, to start with either no weight or the lowest weight. And that's not because Frank is weak. It's because that's what you need to do. Focus on form, understand what you're doing, take it step by step, and do it the right way. Whew. All right, some leg lifts there. We come up onto our feet. Okay. Where did I put? Where did I put? Huh. Oh, it's probably here. No. Oh, here we go. Just want to make sure I didn't get a message from my boss. Okay. So, on our feet, I'm going to lower the camera just a little bit. We're going to start by coming down to our toes. Just let your body hang forward. I'm going to grab my opposite elbows. Another thing you probably heard Arnold coaching Frank through is breathing. If you rewatch the episode and you watch Arnold doing his reps, he's not putting on a show. He's not exaggerating or anything. When he does his reps, his breath technique is perfect. He's maximizing oxygen to his bloodstream, to his muscles, so he can get the best pump possible. Now, when we're stretching, it's really the same principle of releasing into that burn of the stretch with our breath. Whereas when we're lifting weights, we're using the breath when we're getting that extra squeeze or pump or hold, and our muscles are really working. All right, let's keep our left hand down, right hand up, so our right leg is straight. Right hand down, left hand up. Also, Arnold's team, Catch Noah, they gave me some awesome Arnold shirts. So I'm wearing one of his Pump Club shirts right now. All right, coming up. Let's go feet apart. Straight down. Right hand down, left hand down, right hand up. Right hand down, left hand up. Let's lean to the right, stretching out our groin, and then twist. Coming back to the other side. Twist. Back to the middle. Okay, now we're going to come into our balance sequence. Take a sip of body armor, flash IV. Really what I drink the most of nowadays. So coming up, that was another one that cracked me up with Arnold because Frank just couldn't. I really thought about it. I was watching it with my family. We were all cracking up. I think it's because Frank always walks with the body armor attached to his body. So if you watch him walking around the gym with Arnold, he's like holding it close to his chest. I think that's out of that habit for him. And then it turned into Arnold, put the bottle down. It's like, put the cookie down, but put the bottle down. And then he eventually just snatches it from Frank before one set. Grabbing our knee with our opposite hand, looking over our shoulder. Oops, let's do that again. All right, opposite foot, tree pose. Getting our foot up as close to our groin as we can. If you can only get it to your knee, your calf, it's totally fine. It's more about keeping the balance, and that's one of the harder things to do in exercise in the beginning. I think I forgot on the other side to do my quad, but that's where we start. To be honest with you guys, I didn't sleep for like 3 days, so my body is still adjusting. I feel like I went to Asia. Back up. That felt much more smooth. Now, let's come down into a tree pose. A chair pose. And then let's come up and hold on our tippy toes. Whoa. And then let's reset into air squats. Getting nice and low, and then coming up to our tippy toes. Let me lower this because you don't really need to see my head right now. What you do want to see is how my knees are not going to go forward. They're not going to go over my toes. We're going to really arch our back. We're going to really feel it in our butt and our hammies. And then when we get up to our tippy toes, our calves. Air squats are just fundamental to core strength and a great way to warm up. And I did peek around in the Pump Club app and I saw, even for the expert level in the warm up, guess what's right there listed? Multiple sets of air squats. So that I feel pretty validated about. If Arnold thinks it's a good idea, it's probably a good idea. Now let's hold at the top and bounce on our tippy toes. Working both the calf muscles, working our balance. Should have a decent burn at this point. Come back down to your squat. You're going to put one left elbow over right knee, look up. Make sure you keep breathing. Come back, other side. Make sure you keep breathing. Feet together, touching again. Okay. Now we're going to grab our band. We're going to start to bump it up. Basic 40-pound band. We're going to get into our variant curls. For Christmas, the funny thing too is that I flirted with the idea of going to a beach last week. But instead, I was in the office Friday afternoon. And that's what Brett Adcock always taught me, my old boss, Brett, who runs Figure and other companies as well. Friday afternoons and holiday seasons, 4th of July, Memorial Day, you pick it. Those Friday afternoons is when you can go whale hunting, because the busy people get bothered every day, all year. And a lot of people don't realize or think of it this way, but those Fridays going into holidays, when everybody kind of shuts it down, it's a tiny window where, of course, they're probably not going to respond, but you have a much better chance of being seen. And that definitely worked to our advantage last week. The timing, because God knows how busy those guys are. And I'm not just talking about Arnold, but his team. Those guys are absolute legends. So for what it's worth, if you ever feel kind of demoralized where you're working really hard, you're like the last one in the office, whatever, that sort of thing, don't be. If you keep at it, just like the gym, the aggregate of hard work is going to pay off. But it's the aggregate. It's not one-offs. It's not one little thing. You have to do it consistently. So we're obviously going through a regular curl. So anyways, I was answering Ethan in the chat. For Christmas, the Arnold thing came up. So that was number one. And since we filmed on the 23rd, I cannot emphasize what a great job. I cannot emphasize enough what a great job Mikey Betts did of editing together the episode. He sent it back to me by the time I was on the plane. I was time stamping along with him, and then he did over 25 clips. That's why you can see just so many clips going out on Barstool and across all of our channels. He worked his ass off, and he's got a whole family and all kinds of stuff going on, and a little daughter, and he somehow just crushed it and stayed up all night with me. It was just all time from Betts. That's another reason it's like when I say it's a team effort, I'm not trying to be Captain America here. It's the truth. And without him, this wouldn't have happened. So shout out to my guy. Got our hammers. Really feeling a nice pump now. Regular, hammer, hammer, reverse, reverse. And now let's hold the hammer. Really feeling the pump in the biceps. Really feeling like it's isolated. Coming up regular, holding. And watching how Arnold made Frank hold on the last rep of every set really hammered home for me that I need to always do that too. If the king of bodybuilding thinks that's the right methodology, that's the right methodology. And I just did that for all three of the variants, and let me tell you, woo, that burnt. All right, we're gonna come right back to the ground. We're gonna get right back into some cat-cows. Okay. Donkey kicks. So we're getting a full body today. We're working a little bit of everything. And it's going to get a little chaotic here to close. But it's a nice full body stretch, warm up with a little pump in our glutes, pump in our biceps. We're going to get some chest, some shoulders momentarily. We've already done a bit with our plank work out of yoga. Coming over to the other side, donkey kicks, followed by fire hydrants. Still feeling it in my biceps. The way Arnold was pitching to Frank with such passion, the concept of you have a responsibility now because I'm giving you a bigger spotlight, a bigger platform to inspire people on. It was so cool, man. It was so cool. I've loved lifting weights since I was 15 and I'm 36. Obviously, I watched Pumping Iron when I was a kid. Obviously, I watched every Arnold movie growing up in the 90s. It's very hard to describe to everybody how much it meant to me to see him, to meet him, to work out with him, all that stuff, but to see him really take interest in Frank and what we're trying to do and what our mission is. It was just something else. And I think it really touched Frank too. And I mentioned it in the blog, but I can say thank you a million different ways. The best way to thank everybody is to act, to get Frank in the gym, to follow through, and to make sure this is the start of the next chapter. It's not something we're going to rest on and say, oh, look at how great we are. It's very much Kobe. Job's not finished. So are we filled with immense gratitude? Yes, doing up dogs. But are we going to relax? Are we going to be complacent? No, absolutely fucking not. We're going to go take a vacation now? No. We're going to step it up. We're going to get crazier. We're going to work harder. And we're going to bring more of the best possible content to you guys that we can. Stuff that I can't even imagine right now. Just like A year ago, I couldn't imagine what happened this week. So buckle the fuck up, because it's just the start. Some up dog push-ups, getting the chest nice and fired up. Really stretching here on our downward dog, getting all the way down to our heels. Letting that back really stretch out. Now that our chest is on fire, good time to go Vinyasana. Up dog, Vinyasana. Down dog. Into side plank, knee to elbow. Ten. Vinyasana, up dog, Vinyasana. Side plank on the left side, knee to elbow 10 times. And down into a plank, right on the wood. Back on to our kind of tripod with our right leg fully extended in the air. Try to let your left foot drop so that your heel touches the ground, maximizing the stretch, and then come through slowly and land in a pigeon pose. This is going to really help open up your hips. Hey, Dudley, who gives a shit what others think of you? And if you care, me, Frank, everybody in Tank's army, and Arnold Schwarzenegger himself would think it's the most badass thing in the world if we're in a gym working out and somebody comes in a wheelchair and starts doing different kinds of exercises with dumbbells, bands. There's probably a million different things you could do. That would be such an inspiration. I mean, you shouldn't even care what other people think, Dudley. You should do it for yourself. But with that said, there is not a person out there that would not think that's the most badass thing ever. Like just total badassery. So keep us in the loop. Obviously, make sure what you're doing is safe. Make sure you're doing the correct stuff. I don't have experience with that, but obviously lots of people do. And go for it. I mean, I would love to hear about updates from you going to the gym in the wheelchair and what you're doing and how it's going. I mean, I want to talk about inspirational, Dudley. Go for it, brother. You got all of us in your corner, all of us. Anybody that gives you anything other than support is somebody that's deeply disturbed, and that's a them problem. That ain't a you problem, buddy. That ain't a you problem. All right, I'm going to do some crunches. I think we're at 200. We'll get to 300 here. Oh, it feels good to be back live streaming on the workout circuit. And again, I'm very excited to start Arnold's Pump Club. And to be clear, it's not some like side deal or something that Frank's made. This is purely a friendship thing and accepting the challenge from the GOAT and following his guidance, following this system that he's built, cultivated over decades of supreme excellence. I mean, greatness, the greatest to ever do it. It's like getting an online painting course from Picasso, except Picasso's like downloading the app with you. Absolutely insane. I also can't believe it's like 14 months ago. I just didn't have a job. I was just following Frank around, hoping I'd get hired. Hoping I'd figure out a way to get hired. And I made a deal with myself. If I get hired, I will not fail due to lack of effort. I will not fail due to lack of effort. I will not fail due to lack of effort. I will not fail due to lack of effort. To me, that's kind of everything. I have no fear of failing in anything I do. But I also have no tolerance for failing due to lack of effort. If you're going to kill me, you're going to have to put me down and then kill my zombie and then burn my zombie's carcass, because it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. Stretching out our calves again. Pedaling back and forth, getting one heel to the ground and then the other. Let's come up to our extended plank, down to Vinyasana, to up dog, Vinyasana, back to downward facing dog. We're going to move our mat here, down to plank, up to extended plank, down to plank, up to extended plank, down to plank. Well, this looks very simple, and it is. It's a tough one, particularly after you've done some yoga. You've worked your shoulders, worked our chest a bit, worked our abs a bunch, because you're going to feel this throughout your core. And you can see I'm switching up. Right side pushes up there, come down left. Left side pushes up there. Come right. All right, let's walk our toes to our hands. Letting my body hang. Grabbing opposite elbows. Breathing through my hamstrings. Letting the back elongate. Put my left hand on the ground flat. Right hand straight up in the air. Right hand flat. You can see I'm keeping both my legs straight. Really stretching the back. I'm going to grab the back of my heels. Really try to fold my body in half. And this is what we want to work towards. So if you're a beginner, you're not going to be close to this. But don't be discouraged. It wasn't that long ago that when I touched my toes, I was probably about here. And now I can really look at that, bend myself in half. All right, come up very slowly. So we have a lot of blood rushing to our head. Yeah, listen to Florida Nightmare, listen to Ethan. There are a couple of the top lieutenants in here. And Dudley, anybody that gives you anything other than love and respect is a fool that doesn't deserve your attention in the first place. So go for it, brother. We're all going to be dying to hear an update. It's going to be so exciting. Dudley's going in his wheelchair, just clanging and banging without a hesitation, without an insecurity to worry about. You're going there with pride, brother. Going there with pride. Going there with power. That's cool runs. be a bad mother that don't take no crap off of nobody. Say it again. I've got pride. I've got power. I can't remember. I think it's I'm a bad mother that won't take no crap off of nobody. Great movie. Back to middle. So we're going through our balance here again. Except this time we're going to end on the tree pose. Really got a nice sweat going. Feeling it everywhere in my body. Feeling it in my legs. Feeling it biceps, shoulders. Even a good amount in the back from a lot of the stuff we did on the ground. Come back up. Opposite. Keep our balance. Balance feels even better now that I'm a little tired, sweaty, and just warm. It's harder to do the tough balance stretches when we're colder and more stiff. And then ending again on that tree pose, which we're going to then transition right into our air squats up to calf lifts. Let's get 20 nice deep ones. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then up on our tippy toes, calf lifts. Let's try to go a little more slowly now. Really under control. Feeling an extra burn rather than just bouncing, which is still tough to keep your balance, but going slowly is much harder. Back to our squat, elbow over knee, looking up. Middle, elbow over knee, looking up. Okay, sip of body armor. We're going to grab our 40-pound band again as we're getting toward the end here. One more set of variant curls. So it's not been like a arm day by any stretch of the imagination, but because I've been a bit busy and not able to get my regular workouts in, now they're painting my damn apartment gym, I want to get a little pump. And that's again where these bands, you're seeing them in action right now, are so clutch. I do also have dumbbells here, but with yoga in the apartment, I want to give you guys a flow today that you don't really need equipment for outside of maybe one resistance band, which I don't think is too crazy. So again, this is our regular curl. Our palm faces the ceiling. Our hammer curl, our palms remain parallel to one another. And then our reverse curl, the palm faces the ground at the flex point. Let's go both hands at the same time and hold like Arnold at the flex. Regular hammer, hold. Reverse, hold. And you certainly feel the pump extra by doing this. In fact, you can see my sweat breaking in real time as I hold these pump flex points. It's not about how much weight. It's about how you handle the weight. It's about how you direct the weight. It's about how you control the weight. It goes back to what Dudley said before. I don't know what people think of me. Who cares, man? You should care what somebody thinks of you if they're a trainer in the gym and they give you good advice about how your form is wrong. But if someone's snickering at you, newsflash, they're an asshole, not you. Do you know how many people have looked at me like I'm a lunatic when I got my hair up in a bun and I smell like a spliff and I walk into a crowded gym? It's like, I'm there to work, baby. You want to look at me like I'm nuts? Guess what? You're right. I don't give a shit. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Nice little pump. That's exactly right. Well said. The only people that are going to talk shit about you are people that are not doing as well as you. Successful people don't punch down. And if they do, they're probably not as successful as you think, and they're certainly not happy. I mean, I'm doing these air humps right now. You think I give a shit what anybody thinks of me? These are great for the butt. Nice on the lower back. You can even feel it a little bit in your quads when you come all the way up to the flex point. But it's a good structural exercise around the hips and thrusting the hips up in the air. That, again, much like air squats, it's going to really work your core. And it's going to make the center strong, which is going to enable the appendages, your arms, your legs, to get much, much more powerful because they're working off of a base. It's almost like, think of yourself as a tree, and your core is the base of the tree, the trunk of the tree, whereas your arms and your legs are branches. And you're never going to see huge, thick branches that leopards and animals can sleep on at night attached to a skinny ass tree. You're going to see it attached to the thickest, sturdiest trunk you've ever seen. That's how you need to exercise. That's how you need to build from the inside out. Let's hold our left leg down, right leg up. Right leg down, left leg up. Hold. Really working on my holds. Thanks to King Arnold. He actually wouldn't like that title. Arnold's a big democracy guy. But he's the king of bodybuilding. Oh, that feels good. A little ball. Now let's come back to seated. How did the tank walk, video, social do metrics wise? That's a good question, Scorpio. Honestly, I think it's kind of transparent. Like you can see on Twitter and Instagram and all that, it shows you how many views. I don't know what expectations are or were because everything happened so quickly, but I'll go back to shouting out Mikey Betts because to me, I think the numbers look pretty great. I think the content is spectacular, and the turnover and the way we executed in a short period of time, I think was top tier work. I didn't hear anything negative from anybody, which is definitely a positive sign. And we want to do more. And I mean, yeah, I think another thing that was good was just watching my family hysterically laughed for 40 minutes. It was very special to me, but they weren't like faking it. Like, I know them. They're my family. They were really they were just, because they know Arnold, everybody knows Arnold. And hearing Arnold interact with Frank, that it was so good. It was so funny. I mean, you guys tell me I'm biased, but I think the numbers look good because when you get something that special, people want to see it. And you guys all really pumped it up. That's what it all goes back to. Without your guys' support, without the market, without the eyeballs, none of this stuff can happen. So I'm eternally grateful to all you Frank fans, all you Fleming Enterprise supporters. All right, we're going to do one more set and call it a day. Hold. 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 One more rep of each. Now we're going to do sit-ups and plank to end it. Okay, let's get to 500 sit-ups. Where are you at, Dudley? I hope you hear us. I hope you see the chat. I really hope we get you in the gym. $50. $75. $100. $125. $150. $175. $200. It's over 500 crunches to wrap it up. We'll come into one last plank. I appreciate you guys. We have so many exciting things to come. This has really been a special week, and it's all thanks to all the incredible support internally at Barstool, externally from everybody else. It's been absolutely incredible. And again, a big shout out to Arnold's team. Catch, Noah. It's going to be awesome to get Frank on Arnold's Pump Club, get Frank lifting weights. And there's just so many possibilities, guys. We're going to have so many great things coming. All right. Have a fantastic Friday. Brave the cold weather. No excuses. My gym was closed today. We still got like an hour workout in here with some great yoga, some little pumps, almost no equipment outside of one resistance band. So really, anybody could get this done in their little kitchen. New York City living. I love you guys. Have a great Friday. Whew.